I want to start, Michelle, I want to start with you because we need to start from the basics. Okay. We need to start from being able to understand that we need to take a moment to learn. This is all about upskilling and upskilling in a way that's unfamiliar. It's not taking an online course somewhere. It's not a box that you check. It's not a certificate. It doesn't freaking end.
Lifelong learning.
It doesn't end. It's the first job in my life that I feel that if I take a vacation, I lose my job. I have to re-earn it when I come back and learn everything that has happened when I was gone. How are you tackling upskilling? What are the lessons that we can take as we look at AI and the enterprise?
Well, first of all, you are not alone. We just recently did an ETS Human Progress Report, and it was 18,000 people across 18 countries. And one of the most interesting insights, I think, is that people have lost sleep over the fear of being obsolete. So we call that FOBO. Over 65% of people across the globe have FOBO. And so that really means that everything is changing so fast, technology, the landscape, that people feel the need to, stay relevant and actually upskill and reskill. And one of those areas that's really important is AI and AI literacy, right? And so at ETS, we're all about advancing the science of measurement to power human progress. And the science of measurement is assessing whether or not you have the demonstrated skill. And so AI literacy from an understanding standpoint, responsible use, prompt engineering, all those things, we're actually using AI to measure AI literacy in people. And it's not a score, to your point. It isn't a pass or fail. This is actual situational judgment situations, and applying those skills and giving people then insights about their skill proficiency and where things can be upskilled or reskilled from that standpoint. And then give organizations the same insights across different levels, different groups, different job types.
And I'm not sure if you agree, just to double down this topic, if you're not in the IT side of things, because if you are the IT side of things, you can be a little overly excited too about AI. You might feel that anxiety that this is coming for you. So run to it because it's coming.
That's right. It shouldn't be a creative stopper in my mind. I mean, creativity is still going to be the currency that's used, and it's how you use AI to be more creative and more human that's going to win the day.
And before I move on, so do you agree the 3 foundational knowledge blocks that everyone here needs to have? I do not want to see you guys in Cannes next year without knowing these 3 foundational things. Understanding that AI is many AIs, right? So machine learning, Gen AI, and the AIs there to come that we're not talking about yet. Then an understanding of what generative models, how they're different, and how each one is for something else, and an understanding of prompting. Anything else?
Those are
so
great
that's
ones.
The homework. Okay. Moving on. So now on, Alex, I wanted to, once again, starting with the basics. In this journey of AI, it starts with data.
For sure. I think just to add one more tip that I found very valuable, when I wanted to get smarter about AI, I actually went to ChatGPT and I explained what I do for work, what my goals are, and then I had it create an AI learning syllabus. So if you want to be up to speed on the latest, greatest of AI, use AI to teach you AI, or at least give you the framework. That could be very helpful. In terms of data, I mean, ultimately, if we think about all the large language models that are available today, they're all going to be commoditized in that they're available for purchase, similar to how today cloud computing is available for purchase, right? If we're on Azure versus Google Cloud versus AWS, I don't think most of our tech teams care that much anymore. It will be that way for AI as well. So if you think about what the differentiation is, what are you actually using to train and create value off these large language models that you're purchasing? It's data. So if you're in a larger organization, I'm sure this is the way with Under Armour, you have very differentiated proprietary data that is going to give you leaps and bounds, improved performance and outcomes that will help you win long term in your industry or in your competitive landscape. So I think one of the key things that we're always looking for is how do you find a proprietary data advantage? And it can be across any different category. For Proxima, our differentiated proprietary data is transactional data. We boast the largest US-based transactional data set of social commerce transactions. So think about anything that starts with a Facebook ad or an Instagram ad or something on Google or TikTok. We have the transactional data set of 50 million US-based shoppers, and we could see down to the SKU level of what they're actually purchasing. And when you run that on our AI models, it becomes very, very exciting in terms of the value and the performance that you can deliver. So again, my view is AI is going to happen. You have to be a part of it. I love your FOBO. I'm going to steal that for sure. And I think the bigger opportunity is if you're trying to win, how do you actually use a proprietary data advantage so that your implementation of these large language models, of the AI technology, is truly differentiated so you can win?
And Alex, with Proxima, you tap into generative for insights, right?
That's right. So we are tapped into 2,000 e-commerce storefronts, and we are getting live feed of that transactional data. We are deploying our signal into Meta, TikTok, Google, Trade Desk, programmatic exchanges, and ultimately that creates a differentiated approach for delivering performance in marketing, right? We're really trying to find the most efficient way for you to get your advertisement in front of the right customer at the right moment at the best unit economics possible. And I think that's ultimately where a lot of the players in the advertising space need to go, brands or platforms included.
Got it. So generative AI, you guys know that. Now, AI, as I said, many kinds of AI that unlock value. We hear excited about generative, but we have not really tapped into all the power that machine learning has to give. So JB, take us there. Machine learning.
Yeah, so remember like 5-7 years ago when these panels were about big data?
Big data, remember big data.
Yeah, that was those were the times, right? And now it's AI. And then the reason why we don't talk about big data anymore is the people that weren't doing it died out. And now everybody in this room is doing big data, right? Now AI is the same. But just like big data was at the time, the problem is that the word artificial intelligence, first of all, doesn't mean anything as a scientist. Scientists around this room can agree. The more sciencey you get, the more people hate the word AI. Ask your CTO tomorrow.
I'm with you on that one.
No, yeah, it's true. So AI is machine learning. Machine learning is statistics applied to data. Statistics applied to data is just multiplications and sums. There's nothing more than this. This is at the very core of it. It's just this. The question is how much you make of it. How much you make of it and how many additions, sums, and multiplications do you have the computing power to do in a structured ways. And this is what has changed over the last 5 years, especially in terms of understanding language. All right, this is how ChatGPT, OpenAI, large language model as a whole came to be, and how the word AI came into the general knowledge of everybody. But I've got good news. We've been doing AI for a lot longer than this. We've been doing AIs for 15 years. It's just like we didn't have what it took to call it that because it didn't look like AI. But now we work in ad tech, right? And the surface of contact between actual ad tech processes and natural language is not that great. A lot of ad tech is automated. It's machines talking to machines, programmatic, and how you buy on the buying platforms and this and that. And
you created Greenbits that was acquired by Perion, right?
Exactly. So I was the founder of Greenbits. That was acquired a few months back by Perion, and we do custom algorithms, right? And I'm going to be shocking to you because this is a panel on AI, but we don't use deep learning, right? We use deep learning.
So no generative AI with JB.
Exactly. We use a lot of very smart AI, like old school models, but that we can revamp to the power of computing that we have today. And I think at Proxima, a lot of your models, because you have some interface that's going to be using LLMs, but the core of the business is actually going to be still like statisticians developing feature engineering and stuff like this. And the good news for people that work in this space is there's still a lot of work to do on non-language stuff, how to optimize machines talking to machines. And that tech is a lot of this, you know? So this is something that I think is very interesting in navigating the age of AI. Don't be fooled by one word, one size fits all, right? If you feel like you're missing out on AI, start asking yourself, are we not doing AI already in some ways? But I just didn't know it because my CTO doesn't want to use the word. You know what I mean?
Does Perion know they didn't buy an AI company?
But they are buying an AI company. They are because AI is advanced machine learning, and it's exactly what we're doing, right? And if we want to put a very smart chatbot LLM in front of the way we push the optimizations, then we're going to do it, and we're going to do it.
So for the techies in the room, these two represent what we call structured data. So now I'm going to go to unstructured data, creative, visuals, and mixing anything and being able to extract value out of it. So how are you using AI, Alex, and how have been able to unleash transformation? And why are you not scared of it? Terrified?
Terrified every day by it, actually. No, I can definitely concur and say that brands are in a very exploratory phase right now. I think everyone is every day either kind of super excited or super concerned, you know, and trying to execute with it. Very real terms, we've been really embracing AI through different types of content generation in our production workflows. I run the creative and production studio at Shutterstock Studios, and we've been, through our data licensing deals with mega hyperscalers of AI, been granted early access to different models. And so we've kind of become almost like sommeliers of the different models, because all the different models offer us such different things.
I love that phrase, sommelier of models.
Exactly. It's trying to like make it, yeah. And so we have kind of really been placing a lot of emphasis on making sure that we're providing so much value to brands and agencies in including AI in our production workflows, not because we want to just talk about it, but because the real sense of it is it's very powerful when it's done correctly. In particularly 3D production, 3D VFX and CGI work was, before AI, a very high barrier of entry. It was one of the more expensive.
Very expensive.
Yeah, more expensive, very slow, and yet it has completely been flipped on its head. So us embracing for unlocking value there for brands has been huge. As an example, we recently shot a campaign for Lancome with Olivia Rodrigo in her hotel room, and it would have taken probably about 3.5 to 4 weeks of post-production, but we did it in about 5 days to pull the whole spot together. So we're so conscious as a production services and creative services entity to be clear about the value we're bringing to the table with purpose, not just for the sake of it. But yet I will definitely say that brands are still navigating the right ways of using it.
But spell it out. So when you went from 3 weeks to 5 days, what was it that you were optimizing exactly? Was it just the post-production part?
Sure. We could maybe maybe it's a good time just to throw, sorry. I know no one else had any content, and I'm not doing this.
Yeah, we have a couple visuals to share with you.
So these examples specifically are just around not sacrificing creativity or the creative brief, but definitely ensuring that we're faster than we were before with AI. So as I mentioned, if you go to the next slide, using it in our CGI workflows for 3D production and 3D content has been a game changer. I think if anyone is probably scrolling on LinkedIn right now, you see a million of these types of projects for brands, because 3D now it's been completely democratized. But still, it's very hard to make this. But the timelines, though, because it goes from kind of having to build it in gaming engines within now models, the backgrounds, the environments we create within the different LLMs, it's been an absolute kind of game changer. That's the spot on the right with Olivia there, is the spot that we shot and delivered in 5 days. But I don't want to hog the mic and go to the next slide. But yeah.
That's okay. We can go to the next slide.
Oh yeah, and then just some more examples of work that we've done for brands recently. It's a great mix of CG and different like literally we use sometimes up to 14 models. Great for product work, product photography. Brands are embracing this in really smart ways for social. If you go to the next slide, I promise I'm done here, guys. Just some great motion there that we've done. And in the next slide, you see actually some of the people that we've included as well. So various different executions here. I think brands are obviously like hyper conscious and concerned with using people and real people, so the execution obviously has to be right for it. For auto, it's absolutely changing the game, but it's just execution-wise.
So this is faster for your clients. Yeah. Is it cheaper?
It is. It's cheaper.
Because I'm seeing people making it faster, but charging the same. Like I'm seeing agencies charging the same.
Well,
like,
I think at some point we have to also. It's still a lot of creativity and value that we're bringing to the table. It's just a different approach with the execution.
Got it.
But I think you're totally right. Like this is definitely becoming much more cost efficient. But speed, creative, and cost now, the Holy Trinity, are possible to probably achieve all three.
Got it. So it hasn't been like an aha moment for you in the past 3 months. 6 months is too far back.
3 days.
Like were moments that when you're back at your office, you think, I know what I'm doing. This is my focus. And has it been a moment that makes you go, oh gosh, let me rethink everything? I had so many of those moments. The most recent one for me was when I created a matrix of how I saw the landscape from smaller players, medium-sized players.
We have that internal AI expert, perhaps like Liz on her team or other people in our organization. You can go to them and help decipher really who has the real deal versus just a bunch of noise.
Yeah, I fully agree. And so when you talk to clients, I think, as you said, like there's so much AI-generated content that now it's harder to get the foot in the door, right? They also have an AI to discard you. But I think, and this is like an old man speech, but the age of AI is also bringing back the quality of bringing real people in, right? So when you do get the foot in the door, the first thing you want to do, and then you can have all the AI agents you want interacting with people on the long run on the account management, but the first meeting should be with the human, with the C-level, with the founder, and especially with, I think people should bring, and this is why I'm here, like bring the tech people out, like get them out of their computer screens and tell them, nowadays we actually need someone, like the clients, they have all the questions, and the person with all the answers is actually you behind your screen. You need to get out, and you need to be incentivized like a sales in a way, like, and solutions expert, right? You need to find hybrid, it's weird, like you need to find hybrid profiles now between people that are tech savvy, especially on the AI side, because if you want to sign large partnerships with big brands as a startup, and if you want to get noticed, you need to prove to people that you actually have people internally that are really good at what they do, right? They're actually, and part of proving that is coming into a meeting with people that know nothing, and you're just in the meeting because of the 2 letters NAI and AI, right? And what you really want is to, at the end of the meeting, people should understand a little bit more, not exactly your product, but where things are going. And they love that, because once you break through with like saying like, wait, first of all, not all AI is the same, like we did, like we're doing now. And this is actually a sales pitch that we're doing right now. It's a new kind of sales pitch to help, like people are signing when they feel like you've helped them understand why you're actually bringing the value, and they can report it internally. The CMO of a company is terrified of going to the CEO and saying, oh, I've invested a lot in an AI company, but I don't really understand what they do.
Well, he shouldn't. He shouldn't do that. I want to come 360 with you, Aiden. Like we talked about in the beginning, the importance of upskilling and understanding what you're dealing with. And by playing with the tools, when you think about the creative tools, it sounds overly easy on the outside. especially even with VO3 being this amazing engine to create visuals. But it's not necessarily what it seems. Like you do need an expertise to manage and DJ all these tools to create high quality outputs.
Yeah, for sure. I also love that the AI people are saying to make human connections and the value of that. That's so exciting and refreshing.
I have something to add.
Yeah, so no, oh, yeah, sorry. So no, it still absolutely requires creative direction, ingenuity, vision, an understanding of all the different platforms, an understanding of the client's needs, connecting that need with a certain technology. AI is not the answer all the time, every time. Actually, still, traditional production is better in lots of cases.
Shutterstock Studios is not a bunch of chatbots.
No, absolutely not. No, we're real people. No, so it's the power of including that in the production workflows, but we're still absolutely fully embracing traditional production, but absolutely, because it still, in lots of ways, unlocks a lot of other values. So, but yeah, it still requires a ton of creativity.
So I was just going to add, you've made such an important point, both of you, that there's also more than technical skills that we need to be able to be proficient in. There's durable skills, those transferable skills that, just having technical is not enough. The skill to collaborate, to be able to effectively communicate, resiliency, adaptability. These are all skills that can be measured, and you're going to need them throughout your career, and AI can't do that.
No, absolutely. And I'll wrap with a shout out to Shutterstock on a topic that will be another panel, is how you need to really feed the models with really good information. There was a project I was doing, not for Under Armour, for personal project, that I needed image of women of color in nature. The models would not generate that for me because it didn't have that. And Shutterstock is working on addressing this. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for being here.
Thank you so much, Liz. Thank you so much.